All right. So tonight, I don't have like a major training kind of thing to talk to you about. What I want to talk to you about is it's twofold. I might get a little excited and cuss, but first of all, August, look, those of you that hit Success Club, amazing job. Amazing job. August is always a really hard month in this business. It really is, because people are coming home from vacation. They're normally getting ready for regular school, so they're not even thinking about themselves or anything like that. So it was hard. If you hit Success Club, awesome. If you didn't, that's okay. But here's where you can get into a really negative mindset real quick. I can't do this. I miss Success Club. How am I ever going to build a business? Like, you can't go down that way, right? You got to keep showing up. We just have to keep showing up. And that's why we do personal development. Like, for the newer coaches, vital behavior number 3 is personal development. And, you know, if we get into our heads, it all goes to shit real quick, right? Trust me, there's been so many times where I've wanted to quit. I have not always hit Success Club every month. There were a good 2 years where I'd hit it and I'd miss it. I hit it and I miss it. And I just kept going no matter what, because I had to, because I remembered my why, right? It's to be able to leave my corporate job and be here with the kids, even though it sucks right now. But you know what I mean? Like, in normal times, they would go to school and then I pick them up and I get some time. But you have to remember why you're doing it. And just because they said no, Shannon and I repeat this every single call, just because they said no today doesn't mean they will say no next month, right? You've got to keep doing the vitals every single day. And I really feel like Beachbody is giving us a shitload of tools right now. New coaches, you've got those 3 $10 off codes for the first 3 months of your business, which is insane. And then we had Team Cup. It was a little weird with the packaging, but now the new, and remember this, the new Beachbody On Demand packages as of September 9th. So this doesn't include MBF. This is just the standard Shakeology or Performance Line Beachbody Challenge Pack. Now includes the nutrition programs. They're going to become the standard, and that's going to be insane for people, right? Even at the $160, normal price of that thing's $160, not on sale. So that's a great deal still, right? They just don't get MBF yet, but they have that. They have 10 rounds is in there. All these things are in there. These are tools that you can use to help sell your people, right? We know that it's nutrition and accountability. They can move their bodies. It's nutrition and accountability. So I know in my groups, I need to get better at the nutrition piece of it and sharing more. I'm just such a plain eater. But maybe that's more helpful to people, because I know I just eat the same things over and over again because they give me results. But I know some people need to have that variety. So you've just got to keep going in with different tools and finding different tools, because if we give up now, guys, like, what if? You'll keep asking yourself, what if I didn't quit? What if I just would have kept going? And I know it's really easy to get discouraged and you want to quit, but you can't. So what I want you to think about is really looking back at August and being completely honest with yourself. Did I show up every day on social? Did I do my vital behaviors every day? Was I actually inviting people and having conversations? Was I following up with people? And you have to take inventory. For example, I went through my August goals, and like, I write them down, and I can share this with the new people. I just did my September. I went through my August goals. I wanted personal volume of 4,000, missed it. Only got 1,200. That's a big difference. I wanted to add 5 new coaches. I added 1, and it was a discount coach. Not working the business. Okay, it's great. It's a coach, but I wanted 5. I have to see how many number of new clients I added. I don't remember. But I missed them. But why did I miss them? Because I coasted by. I hit Success Club before I went on vacation, and I was like, girl is out because she needs a break. You know what I mean? Like, that was on me. I still hit Success Club, but in the months that I don't hit it, I go back and I'm like, well, Marcy, you said you were going to talk about going back to school. You were going to do videos for your client social media. You never made those. No reason. We had our sneak peek. I didn't talk about any of the healthy snacks that I took on vacation because I just didn't think about it. But like I wrote all this stuff down and I didn't do it. Right? So we have to hold ourselves accountable. And that's really hard to do. It really is hard to do, but you can. So I really want you to sit down in September. Will September be easy? Maybe not. I mean, we're gearing up. We're in this lull period of no new program, right? They usually give them to us every 3 months. So we have, if you're new, we have 30-day breakaway coming in October. It launches in October. Packages go on sale in October. It's out in October. Michelle's going to do a whole training on that for us about the program. She just completed the test program. And I see you laughing because she's nervous as hell, but that's how we learn, right? But right now, you just got to focus on getting people into either MBF or the standard package. If you've got the $10 off, here's how I sell the $10 off when I get them for whatever. I have 3 $10 off codes. They are first come, first serve. You want them, you got to let me know immediately. Then that person's like, oh, I think I'm interested. I wait and at 24 hours, I'm like, are you taking it or not? Because I have someone else waiting. And that's okay to say that because it's urgency and you're not being salesy. You're offering them a special discount, but they have to claim it. And you were very clear up front. I've got 3. And I saw a lot of you guys using our Team Cup ones that way. You're like, I got 3. I got 2, last one, right? It creates urgency. So we just got to keep pushing. Like, how many have you done goals kind of like this? Are you writing them out? No. I didn't either. I never used to, but seeing this, like it's staring me in my face. Like, again, September, same goals. I think I said 3 working coaches instead of saying 5 in general. I want 3 people that are like, you know what? I want to build a business and you know, or at least I want to be a hobby coach or I want to do something. And I have all the things that I didn't do in August. I moved them over here and said, damn it, you're going to do it. Look, I even wrote, like, I don't know, you can't say, do it. Like, I'm yelling at myself, like, do the videos. It takes 2 minutes to record a foam rolling video. It takes 2 minutes, whoever does amazing nutrition. Anna's holding freaking broccoli right now. She could be doing a video on nutrition, right? And, or morning mindset, or moms that are struggling and need help. Like, you got to just think outside of your box and you got to just do the things that you don't want to do because they may not pay off in September, but October, November, December, January, that's going to pay off. Because there's probably people watching you now that may not commit until January, but think of a hell of a January you could have. All right. And it's in our head. And I know that's hard to say, but I know that you guys think that because when I talk to you, you're like, I didn't get that. And I had Renee, who was, I added to the team page. She's on Team Passion. She was on our Team Cup. She actually messaged me today and said, how did you hit Success Club 10 in September with, or whatever month that was, August, with being a mom, working, and teaching your kids? Like, I don't understand. And my answer was consistently inviting people to join me. I always have a funnel, right? Shannon will talk about it until she's blue in the face. She's got a list and it just keeps going and going and going and going. So she always has a funnel. And that's what we have to always remember. There's a funnel of people because of all the work we're doing. So if you're struggling right now, go back to the vitals. We don't need pretty graphics. You don't have to think of systems yet. Like if you're getting in your head, like, okay, I have these new coaches. What system do I need to have in place? I don't have a system yet. I'm working on it now because our team is growing. But when it was just me, I was just trying to get people in, right? Don't think about, oh, the top coach has this beautiful onboarding system, or they have these beautiful graphics. Don't worry about that. Just do the hard, dirty work now, and then we'll develop the systems as we go and as we teach people to come on. Sorry, I have this weird sinus thing. I don't have COVID, even though I was in South Carolina, I promise. But it just got to go. And I know I'm not making sense, but it's just got to do the hard work. And I want to fire you guys up because 3 months ago, we added 30 coaches to this team. And then we all just went, whoop. You know what I mean? Like, did you feel like the air was just like sucked out? It happens. Now we just got to like push to say, let's get them all back in. Let's get them back in. And don't forget about your current customers. They are your lifers. Pour into them. Be reaching out a week or every 2 weeks and saying, how you doing? How are you doing? Like, if I don't see my people posting in my challenge groups, I'm on them and they still ignore me. But you know what? They will never say, Marcy never checked in on me. They can never say that because I'm checking in. They may not be responding, but I will never be the reason that they didn't get a result. It was on them, right? So those people, like a Shannon, for example, I asked her for a good 1.5 years to become a coach just to save herself money, right? And she finally did. And there's customers of mine that I've talked to for 1 year or 2, and they finally became a customer and now are becoming coaches too, because I never gave up on them. And that, remember, our job starts when someone hits play. It's not when they buy the package. It's when the transformation starts. So love on them, share their transformations, ask them if you can cheer them on. And you know, ask them if they need a phone call. Some people need to be talked to. I have a client texting me right now who's just needy, but she's a long-term client, so I give her my time. Can you understand, like, some of them are going to be really needy and you're like, you're not buying anything. And I know that sounds shitty. You're not buying anything and you're just dragging me down and wasting my time. Text message or email, right? Your time is important. Your time is where you do your income producing activities. So if someone's in your phone is like, I can't figure out this container, go read the damn meal plan, because I know you read it once, you just don't want to read it, and then come back to me, right? You've got to create accountability on their end too. And same goes for your coaches. Like the ones of you that always show up, and everybody, we have our core group, you ask us a question, we're going to answer. But if we have some that are like, oh, well, I don't know, and then they're just like on you all the time, say, if you really want to do this, I need you to show me that you're doing the work, right? Does that make sense to you? And as you continue to build your team, because I know a lot of you guys are starting to add team members, you've got to look at that. And like Melanie Mitro says, she makes them fill out a form. She will email them and she'll send them the business activity tracker and say, in a week, send me your tracker and that will determine if you get on my schedule. Girl's got thousands of coaches, so she can say, show me your tracker because my time is important too. Like, remember, your time's important. So, I mean, that's the big, like, I know I'm just rambling, but I'm like fired up because I know you can do better. I know we can do better. For the moms that are teaching your kids, use this platform to express what you're going through and how your nutrition, hi buddy, your fitness, your personal development is helping you through every step of this process. Because there's a woman out there, or a dad, I mean, because a lot of dads are working from home. My husband is working from home more days than I am, that don't know how to handle this. They just are not equipped to deal with this. But if you're just leaking out little nuggets of information in every post that you're doing, then you're giving them something of value. And I know I talk a lot about having kids. That's just the season I'm in. Those of you without kids, find something that's going on. Like, you've got a lot of teacher friends, talk to them and say, I take care of myself before I do anything else because I won't be able to come later. Or call them out and say, I don't know how my teacher friends are doing it. If you got a teacher, a coach, or a client, highlight them, call them out. Healthcare workers, whatever it is, like, show that they're doing it, because then other people can see that they can be like you or be like them. It's just about finding like a season to talk about. And you don't have to jam like, you don't have to say like, I did my MBF workout. That's what I do every morning so I can get through it. It's like, I work out to release my stress. I did a 30-minute workout and I just feel so much better, right? It's just finding different ways to talk about it. And, you know, it's funny enough, and I'm really pissed off about it, but I have to share something that happened to me. My marketing agency, who I've worked with for 8 years now, for my real full-time job. Nice man. He's older. He's like in his late 60s, is a pilot. He's very like creative thinker, and he looks out for me. He takes care of me. He really does. But he wrote me an email yesterday, and I know where it's coming from a good place in his heart. He said, you know, I saw your post. It was about, am I enough? About working, being home, all this stuff. And I know you're probably using social media as an outlet to talk about your insecurities, but at work, you're always so like strong and you know, pushing forward and persevering through it. And I know you probably use your social as an outlet, but what if someone at the corporate office sees that? How would they judge you? And I was like, like really? Like I have a whole post. I went a whole tirade of writing. I went to take a break. Like, as a woman, I'm expected to be one way here, but you can't be another way here, right? And why is it okay that someone can say that to me? And I know he meant it from a good place, but I'm being judged, right? I'm getting looked at and I'm being judged. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that message would have came through, it would have shut me down and crippled me. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spin it and I'm gonna use it to educate other people that are probably being judged. And in this case, I'm talking to working mothers and women in corporate America, because that's the shit we deal with, right? So take the negative. It was all that personal development I've done in these past 5 years that got me to the point to be able to do it. It literally would have crippled me. I'm telling you, I would have canceled my account. I would have stopped posting on social media because I couldn't believe in myself. But you got to turn it. And now I can use it as an education. You get an objection, it's too pricey, talk about it. Talk about it. When I started, I didn't think a couple $100 to get myself started was going to be worth it. But now I know, blah, blah, blah. Or someone did a post recently about buying like expensive shoes. And they're like, that's the cost of taking care of my health, right? You like, think of it, put it in perspective of objections that you get, or you get like judged and people have the balls to say something to you. Use it as a training tool and an education tool to flip the message and flip the script. So that's just a learning moment, and use them. And like Donna's in healthcare, she can easily talk about things that she sees and talks about. Like Dr. Lauren Fitz on Instagram, incredible person to follow. She's now she went anesthesiologist, quit. She didn't like to be on that end of dealing with people at that point in their life when they needed help. She's now a functional medicine doctor out of Illinois, but went to a coach, built her business, and then is now becoming a functional medicine doctor. But she shares a lot about that. Like the new data released, what is it? Is it 94% had additional underlying issues that they're saying COVID. You know what I mean? That whole statistic that CDC just released. How I spun it in my stories was they're saying whatever percent had 1 or 2 conditions, diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever else it was. Those can all be taken care of now through good nutrition, fitness, and just being aware of who you are and what you're doing, right? So you don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to spout out things. You could just say, you can take the precautionary steps, or you can help reverse something you maybe have without medication. Or it's not, don't say it'll not give you won't get COVID, because then, my God, that's not good. But it can improve your immunity. So things like that, like look at what's going on in the news with health, be aware, and take your own perspective. That's the beauty of having your own business. You have an opinion about something, you can use this platform to talk about it when it comes to health and nutrition and whatever else it may be. going on in your life. But use these tools, all right? Upcoming things, and then we'll open it for questions and stuff like that, because I said I didn't have a plan. Next week is Coach Sneak Peek. And I want you to think, it's next Wednesday and Thursday on Facebook. We'll open the group. I'm going to try something that Melanie Mitro in the training that I was in said, busy moms building a business. That's just the season I'm in. Try to come up with a theme. Like, Tim, you could say busy dad building a business. You know, like, think of a theme that then you can wrap marketing around. So I could talk about time. I can talk about like how I work in pockets of time, how it helps me pay for all of these pieces of equipment that are now in my office that were not here. I literally did a story today. I spent $500 this week. $500. We're 3 days into the week because we needed Wi-Fi extenders. We needed a chair because the one I got from my friend was broken. We needed art supplies, all these things. My paycheck last week covered it, and I didn't have to go into my mortgage or my bills. And I said, if I didn't have a side income, I would have been freaking out. Like, so I'm thinking, okay, how can moms relate? They've just bought, families relate. They just bought all this stuff, and they're like, damn, it might be hard to pay the bills this month because I had to do this. Car issues. Like, think of something you can wrap around and do a story every day, maybe 4 panels, 4 slides, and talk about coaching, but you don't have to say like what you made. Don't want to do that. If you do talk about money, put the disclaimer in, everything on every slide. Talk about how it makes you feel. Like on vacation, I got to step back from working my business, but I still made money because of the foundation I've laid, right? Like, I got to take time off, but I'm still making money and I'm still helping people. So think about that this week and start posting now. Start posting now, because I know Hartford County and a lot of other counties go back to school next week. So it might be light, but you know what? I said we were going to do them the first week of the month, every month, just to get into the routine of talking about it and pushing it. And Michelle and Shannon, I see in your stories all the time that you're dropping it in there at least once a day. I need to be better at that. At least once a day, they got some kind of call out on their stories about joining their team. So think about that. And then you're going to hit Success Club this month. Don't go in it. And I know Shannon and I have this conversation a lot. It's going to be a hard month. God, it's going to be a hard month. Everyone's freaking out because of school. They're not going to think, like, we can't do that. We have to say, you know what? My pipeline is full from the previous months of people that said no. I'm going to go back and ask them again. Worst they can say is go away, right? And adding new people to the network or your connections and doing all the social media that we talk about. Just do it. Do it. What's the worst they're going to say is no. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to miss the goal, but at least you could say, I freaking tried and I worked my ass off and I learned from why I failed. I could have had bigger numbers than I did, but I didn't do all these things. I didn't do all the things I said I was going to do. So write out your goals, damn it. Write them out. 2 coaches, 5 coaches, 10 clients, whatever it is. Write it out, put it up. If you have a family situation, let them see it too. So when you say, I need to go work for a half an hour so I can reach those goals, they can see it and say, oh, mommy or daddy are working on that. And that gets me a game. That gets me vacation. Like, if you have children, let them see it. If you have a spouse that's not sure about this, like, if I can make an extra $500 this month, babe, we don't have to worry about the mortgage. We could take that money and go on a long weekend, just me and you. Like, think about them. Make it about them in a way. If you have a spouse that isn't fully on board, and that's okay. Sometimes they have to wait and see. and then just have the whole family buy in, because then that hard work, that 20, 30 minutes you need to take at night not watching the show, they'll be like, okay, I know why she's doing it. I know why he's doing it. Cool. Is anyone fired up, or are you like, damn, she's nasty? I know you can do it. That's what I knew, you could do it. Shannon, do you have any remarks? I'm sweating. I have armpit sweat.
Armpit sweat all the time, so.
Yeah. Basically, it's really hard to explain, but I mean, a lot of the conversations I have are just from doing those small things. Like I was talking to someone yesterday, and it was somebody who was already on, they were already a customer of mine. And I was just talking to her, chit-chatting, and she asked about Energize, and then I said, well, why don't you go for the MBF pack, and things like that. So I got that one sold. But just like people that I talked to, I just started a conversation with them. I can't tell you how many people I just started a conversation. And some of them, if I know they've been kind of watching for a while, I might invite them like pretty quickly. But most of them, it's more of just, hey, thanks for watching my stories. Thanks for your support of my stories and my posts. Hope you're doing well. And I've even started asking a question, rather than saying, hope you're doing well, I've said, how are you doing? And a lot of people respond back, and then I start talking to them. And then, no, you're not getting that. He's and yeah, that doesn't go well sometimes. But, you just starting a conversation. If you can start a conversation, then you can end up bringing them in and getting them interested in whatever you're doing. I've even started a conversation that they've clicked my poll by accident, and they've come and joined, and they just clicked it by accident. But if you just try to find ways that you can engage with people that like think of who you're aiming for, because people that that, I know that I could help them out because they're in a situation like me. They've got kids, or they're a teacher and they're home anyways right now. A lot of teachers right now, even if I didn't have kids, I'm not going to go to a gym right now, and I'm going to be here all day, and I might as well just work out right here, So there's just a lot of different types of people you can reach out to and just start that conversation. And you don't even have to think about Beachbody immediately, but it will likely draw interest from them into what you're doing, and they'll start looking and seeing what you're doing, and then they might ask. So I notice people start commenting or liking my posts more when I start talking to them more, so just things like that. They're just those little, I don't know what to call it. I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
It's just the little things add up every day. Just your vital behaviors have added up.
They really do. But I will say, don't thank a lot of people for liking your stories before you go to bed, like right before you're going to bed, because then you're like talking to people. Like some people message you back and you start talking to them, and then I'm like an hour later going to bed. So that's my advice.
Yeah, no, I agree. Be prepared to have a conversation, or what you can also do, like, and I did this when I first started. And when you're new, you're like, oh my God, I got a message, I got to answer right now. It's okay to say, hey, I see your message. I got to get up at 5 to work out. Can I get right back to you first thing in the morning? Most people are like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like impulsive at that moment. But I know when I was new, I was like, oh my God, they're ready to buy. And half the time they weren't ready to buy anything right away. Like, they could have waited till the morning.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. But I know on IG, it's hard to get people interacting. So if you get them, you're like, ooh, let me have this conversation real quick.
Yeah, definitely. But, and don't forget about like completion packs too, your current customers. And that's another opportunity to see if somebody wants to check out as a coach. Even if they didn't want it before, ask them again. I had somebody a little while ago that she was gonna get shakes and I said, okay, do you want to check out as a customer or coach? And I kind of went through it all, told her the benefits, and she's like, yeah, I'm not really a shake person. And so she's like, yeah, I'm just going to do the one time and I'll just do customer. Then she turned around. I asked her about performance. I'd actually already sent the shake link. And I actually said, you know what? I know this is risky because I feel like she could, you know, I've already got consent. But I actually asked her, would you rather have performance? And then she had already said no to the coach thing. And I asked her again. I said, well, you know, a lot of people really like Energize. And would you want to get that coach discount now? And she checked out as a coach with performance. So it's worth an ask. Like it's, you know, people aren't going to hate you. So when in doubt, ask. That's what I've learned.
Yep.
Just ask.
That's perfect. Who else? Anyone else want to have questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you do the highlights on Instagram?
Ooh, Tim can help too.
Yeah.
You know what, Tim? So Michelle, you go in and on your account, it'll expand down and you can create new highlights. I made myself.
But I can't figure out how to create the new ones. All these all of my albums come up. It's so weird.
Oh, I can't get back to my new stuff, Tim. I can only go back to June 2019 and add highlights. Isn't that weird?
Like when you look at your archive?
Yeah, like when I went in yesterday, you should be proud of me. I made them. Look, I even got little graphics on Canva.
Get it, girl.
Woo! I was pissed yesterday that the guy said that to me. I was like, fuck that, I'm going right to work. Sorry, Shannon. But I could only add in January. Maybe if you could do another screen recording of just highlights for us.
Yeah, I can do that if you want. Michelle, I can verbally explain it now because I know it sounds like you're driving.
Yeah.
And then I can do a screen recording and then send it in the Facebook group.
Okay, yeah, no rush. I was just trying to do it last night and
yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't working out. I couldn't create new ones. It all of my albums were popping up and I was like it had the dates of all of my different albums. I don't know. I couldn't create new ones.
That's weird.
Like the live posts, like if you were to, I don't know, just post about the completion of your running program on your story and want to post it onto a highlight.
Yeah.
So once you take the actual picture of or video that you want to post on your story. Now, when I did this in the training, I actually posted it on my story on accident, and I had a few people being like, why were you making that face? Are you drunk? Oops. Once you go to send to, there should be an option where once you hit your story, there's a blue button that says share to your story. There should be an option that then comes down as like a little bit of like a drop-down menu that then says highlights.
Okay.
Do you have to do it at the time that you post the story, or can you go back?
Driving, so I was just gonna show you, but like, if anybody can see that, like add to highlights.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
Pink right there.
Okay.
And then from there, you should be able to pick an album.
Okay.
Oh,
but
sorry.
So
it should work that way, technically.
So I have to create an album in my photos? Is that what you're saying?
So yeah, you have to make the actual, like, the highlights there. You have to make a new one. So you have to have open and active highlights first. And then you should be able to share it.
Okay.
That makes sense. But then here's my question. God damn, I get so trigger happy. Like, I just posted to my story too, a random of my laptop. Do you have, like, can you go back and like, so like I wasn't thinking, and I did a coach sneak peek talk today. Can I go back and add that to my highlight, or does it have to be done simultaneously with the live post of it?
No, I mean, I don't know why yours was being weird, because technically you should be able to go into your archives pretty much immediately. But then when you go to
get some water.
Yeah, you should be able to go to your archive, drop down, and then hit stories, and all of your stories that you've posted should be on there right away.
Yeah, when I'm on my Instagram now, and when I click the new, all my stories come up, like all of them.
So that's making a new folder within your highlights.
Okay.
So like I personally, like I saw you had a few on there, Sam. So
Yeah.
like that's how you want to make a new one. Like I have Beachbody Workouts Quest. If I want to make one that's like, you know, my kids, that's how you would make a new one. So you have to actually
physically make a new one.
Yes, you have to actually post on your story and then add it to your highlight, or add to your story, go to your archive, drop down, select stories, and then you can pick the stories to add to your highlights.
Got it. Okay.
But that new option is going to give you a new folder. It's not a new post in your actual highlight.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
I think I know why mine's doing, because I switched to my business account or my creator account, and then I created my highlights. So then it's not recognizing all my old stories.
Yeah.
But it's still weird because I wasn't a creator in 2019 or 2018. It literally only goes to June 2019.
Yeah, so it should, whichever, like you, yeah, so whatever account you're logged into, that's where you'll find your
stories.
So
go ahead.
Quick question about when I switched mine over to a business account, but then I switched it back because it, like, my stories, I like them to go to Facebook too.
Yeah.
And they went to like this Facebook, like, other thing, I guess business, and I have nothing there. So then when people see those stories, I mean, it wasn't on my page where I post everything. And I'm not anywhere near setting up a business page there for Facebook. You know? So I just cut it off, and I was like, okay, I'm just going back to personal account.
Right. So if you do the business account, you have to have a business Facebook linked. So like me personally, I don't post on my Facebook stories, so I don't need to worry about that.
Right.
But if you use both platforms and you want to just have the convenience of doing it both at once, a business account is not necessarily going to be worth it. If I decide to post on my Facebook, I have to save my story on Instagram and then post it on Facebook. It's a few extra steps, but to be honest, if you use Facebook primarily, a business Instagram account probably is not going to be worth it.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, I mean, I could switch it at any time. Is there a rule, like, once you get so many followers that you can't switch it? Like, if I ever did want to switch it down the road?
You should be able to switch back and forth on Instagram, technically.
Okay, yeah, because I switched it back, and because for me, I just looked at it like, people are going to see my stories on this business page, and I've got nothing on it, so they could be drawn to it, and then there's nothing there. So for me, it just wasn't beneficial right now. I mean, I'm trying, like, I've definitely gotten people to sign up on Instagram, but I still know them. I've talked to some strangers and stuff, but I haven't gotten like some random person that I don't even know at all on Instagram. And I have gotten that from Facebook though. So I just have more luck altogether on Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, whatever platform works for you, you know?
You know what? I think I did a creator account. I wonder what that's screwing me up, because I don't even have sent to highlights, but I have highlights.
So like once you hit add to your story, there's no drop down that gives you that like little pink button to add to highlights? No,
and it's still sharing to Facebook too. I wonder if I need to research what the difference between the creator account and the business account are.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about the creator.
This whole time, I thought you guys were cutting me off. I didn't realize I was on mute. I was like, why won't they let me talk? But I was going to say, mine's a little bit, my Instagram, I don't know if it's because I technically have like an Android phone. I don't know if you guys probably have Apple, but my highlight thing is on the bottom of the screen when I post a story. I don't know if it's that way for anybody else, but on the very bottom right of the screen, that's where I can add to my Facebook story, highlights, and do whatever else. Like if I want to archive it, save it. So it might be just different for different phone users. I don't know, but it's really easy. It's just right on the bottom of the screen when you post the story. And I have gone back before and shared it on Facebook or whatever, like later in the day.
Right.
So I don't know if it's just different that way or not.
Yeah.
Marcy, you
Cool
posted
bitches.
like 4 stories of your laptop on Instagram.
I know, I just deleted them all because I was trying really hard to like figure it out.
I posted a story. I posted an Instagram story of like my leg, and I was like, "Oh, I did not mean to do that." Gonna delete that before people are like, "What is wrong with her?"
Yeah, I need my phone now.
Yeah, got it. And so I think because the creator account, you know, I saw Coach Danielle Natoni talking today. She's like, Facebook or Instagram screwed up her account. Like she wanted to go private just the weekend she takes like off from social in general, and she did something, and then she's like, I need to get my creator account back. And I'm like, I have a creator account, but I can't add to my highlights. So maybe I'll switch to a business account in the morning, like let all those stories cycle through and then see if that does it, because I can't get anything added to highlights no matter what I do. New stuff, old stuff, yeah.
Weird.
So weird.
That's really weird.
I'll do a screen recording, Tim, and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just dumb.
Stop.
But I do like the highlights because I think they're fun. And I did,
Yeah, they're fun.
I need to update my profile a little bit more. I wanted to change my name or add like fitness coach to it. And I didn't have enough there were not enough, I had too many characters because my name is long. Like that's annoying. So I think it's just a work in progress. Like Instagram, you just try something. If it works, yay. If not, just disregard it and try again. Yeah. Any questions? New questions? Business? Got stuck on something?
I just wanted to mention one thing to you guys. You were talking about with COVID and all the things that we're seeing out there. One thing that they haven't told anybody. Now we're having younger people start with us now. I had a 33-year-old lady die.
Oh my gosh.
Married, had 2 kids. So no morbidities except that she was overweight. So I am finding now that the younger people that we are seeing in the hospitals with this illness, it's because they're overweight. They have obstructive sleep apnea and they have breathing issues. So, you know, when you talk about these people, they already have a big belly that's pushing up on their diaphragm. They're not breathing well. So I think that's something that you're going to see released not too long from now, because they're starting to track the BMIs on these patients. And I'm seeing it. The young ones that are coming in now are the ones that are overweight. So and they don't do well because, you know, we have to prone them. So you have to turn them on their stomach and it helps oxygenate them better, strange as it is. They usually, you know, have to be paralyzed and sedated. But, you know, we're still struggling with them. And, you know, Florida, of course, we flattened down. So we only had less than 2,000 cases today.
Oh,
so, yeah. So you guys had, I think, 350 in Maryland. So my sister works at Hopkins, so she kind of keeps me informed on what's going on there. So, and you guys are actually Friday going to phase 3. So your restaurants are in 50% and stuff like that. So with Florida, I mean, I went to Disney today. So yes, I did. And they actually did a hell of a job. Everybody had masks. They checked temperatures. They have to have a reservation. There was like 6-foot distancing everywhere. As soon as I left the table, when I would sit down for a minute, they were over cleaning it. The rides, they clean in between. So, I mean, it's a new life and new world we're going to be living in for a while. We're hoping that with all the kids going back to school, because we opened schools, some went back 3 weeks ago. So we're not seeing a spike, which is something we were worried about. But they're not. Now there was one down in Sarasota, which like they showed these kids all in the hallway, all smushed together, not distancing, and they had like a handful of people that ended up being positive.
I saw that video on Facebook.
Yeah, they
like shared it, and yeah.
Yep, they sent it viral, and they closed the school down. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. So I know that the nursing homes finally are opening up to visitors now, up with you guys on Friday. So that'll be good for, you know, the patients, because a lot of the ones in the nursing homes are not good. But in the hospitals, we're not letting visitors in still. So only if they have surgery, we might let them come in and wait in the waiting room till their loved one's out, and then they got to go. So we're not letting them stay in the hospital with their family members or visit. So we're in it. And we had 47 patients vented at our hospital, and we have about 130 in the hospital. So obesity is a big thing. I mean, if I see anything in there, I'll shoot you some of the research that they're looking at, because they are, you know, we're still doing the plasma infusions for people that have antibodies. So a lot of people think they had the virus last year in the fall, in the winter. Like anywhere from November through March, a lot of people had bronchitis type stuff. So they were thinking that might be in the COVID virus at that point. But we've also had reinfections now for people that had COVID in the past. So there are people that are had COVID, recovered, and now are getting reinfected. So there's different strains that are out there. So just stay safe.
Yes, thank you. Aren't we glad we have a doctor? And if you can, I know you can't share a lot on your own social, just say, you know, some of the things I've run across is obesity, and here's what I'm doing to help myself, and maybe that like triggers something, and you know, you can spin it, and we can all say that. You could say we were on a team call, and you know, we have a nurse practitioner that's a coach, and she was just kind of sharing some of the feedback out of a hospital, and you just keep it very general. But we know as America, we're the most unhealthy country anywhere, and obesity is the problem. And the government doesn't want to help us, but just give pills and shove them down your throat. You know, they don't want to say, go find a health and a wellness coach. Or like Donna wants to open up like a functional medicine because she wants to help people and not put them on medication if we don't have to. Like, how do we do this? And I think people are waking up, and they're like, how do I naturally take care of myself? Because I've seen my parents on medication. I saw both of my parents die from cancer in their early 60s. Like, we're starting to like get this, like something's wrong. Like, what can we do to fix this ourselves? So we have the tools, like, right? You might not know it all, but we at least have tools to help people.
Yeah.
And it's nutrition and fitness, and mindset for our clients too. They need it. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome.
No, I'll send you what I have on that kind of information if they release anything, because I have a feeling they will be, but they're a little slow sometimes at getting things out.
Well, we want.
Yeah.
Especially the CDC.
Yeah. Anyone else? Questions? Issues? You're scared? You don't know what to say?
I have a question.
Yes.
And I don't know if this is a long one, if we'll have to pick it up, but basically I've had a lot of people asking me recently, you know, with the nutrition programs, both of them, 2B Mindset and Ultimate Portion Fix, you know, they're both there and people are trying to figure out which.
Yeah. So here's a conversation you can have with them, and this is what I kind of say. I'll kind of say Ultimate Portion Fix is we're using containers, and they're really focused on how much you're eating in a day. And it's helping you measure what's going on to your plate. That's for somebody like me that needs to be told, I need to be eating this because I know what to eat, but I don't want to do it. So if someone tells me I have to eat 4 freaking vegetable containers, I'm like, okay, I'll do it because they told me to. Then the other 2B Mindset is very flexible, and you can go in and watch the videos too, but it's really about the plate it method, where you look at your plate and you load them with vegetables first, and then you go in with protein, and then you come in with carb. So it's more flexible. There's no like, you're going to eat this many servings of this, you're going to eat this many servings of this. It's just more of like, oh, like this is how I picture if the meal plan had like an emoji, it's like, like that's how I envision it. Because I tried it and I was like, I can't. But if you run into somebody that has anorexia, bulimia, is a very big emotional eater, I would put them on 2B mindset, because it's not as like, and I see Anna shaking your head. Have you had like a personal experience in that way?
Yeah, I mean, I've never actually had like an eating disorder, but I've always been on kind of the extreme side of like everything I eat, I'm always like mentally taking a note of it. I do ultimate portion fix, but I am extremely aware of that tendency that I have. So sometimes I have to like step back and be like, you know, I don't have to be obsessive about it. Like, it's not the end of the world if I, you know, eat a cookie or something. And because then I automatically start feeling guilty because of that. You know, I have this list I'm supposed to eat off of. And if I go off of that, then I'm not going to get the best results or whatever. So I definitely would recommend, if someone actually has struggled with eating disorder or has had one or knows someone that has one and it's like a touchy subject, and not do portion fix, because it can easily become kind of obsessive of like, I'm only allowed to eat this much, I'm only eating off of this list, even though I don't think it's restrictive necessarily, but it's easy to have that mindset of like, I'm not eating, I'm choosing not to eat dessert, or, you know, I'm choosing not to eat these things that are bad for me. But if you have that tendency to like, I don't know, obsess over it, then you probably want to stay away. Because I've even had to acknowledge that with myself a few times while doing 80-day obsession, because I was really like, you know, this is what I'm doing, I'm following this plan exactly, and then if I ever slipped up, it was like, oh no, like I felt really guilty, which is not the way it should be. Like, you can't do that sustainably for, you know, for the rest of your life if you're gonna constantly be anxious. You know, I was anxious like if I went out with my family and we went out to eat or something, and I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? Like, I need to eat a certain amount. I can't, you know, measure it or whatever. Like, if you're like that, then I definitely would not do portion fix. Even though I do love it, I definitely would stay away from it in that area.
Yeah. So honestly, Sonia, just have the conversation. And if you need help from me, like get in a 3-way message or whatever, I can help you do that too. Because I know sometimes this gets complicated. So just let me know if I can help. But they can go in and watch both sets of videos too. You know what I mean? Like, that really helps them get a sense. Those first 2 or 3 really give them an overall sense of what to expect.
I mean, I'm going to just have to try both.
Yeah.
But, you know, I really have a problem with that ultimate portion fix, because I haven't found the container that I put my caramel, my dark chocolate Sam's Club caramel, the chocolate caramel things. I mean, I think I don't know, the vegetable container, I don't know.
Just don't crack it, because I have
Or
one.
you know what, there's a typo, because I know the serving size is 3. It says 1. That's clearly a typo.
That's hilarious. Very good question though. And that's something like, and people don't know what to eat. You know what I mean? So if I have someone that's like, well, I overeat, and I know, like, I ask that question, I'm like, have you struggled with any eating disorders? Then I start them with ultimate portion fix. I'm like, let's try it 30 days. You don't like it? We move right over to 2B mindset, or we can find a hybrid of them. So yeah, try them. Watch the videos, try them. They're good. Anyone else? Any other questions, concerns? Y'all gonna go for Success Club?
Yes.
Need it.
Yeah. Are you close to Success Starter, Tim?
Is that the 3 within 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really pissed, because my first month that I coached, I hit Success Club, but I got my points, but I didn't hit my 90 PV.
Oh. So
it technically didn't count, and I'm pissed. And I got it in July and August, so I'm sitting at 2 months, and I just want to hit it one more time so I can get my that starter.
And you get that test group.
Yeah,
so that'll be the March program.
And I signed up for Summit, and I just want my ticket for free.
That's
so
right.
That's me too. I hit
going too.
I hit Success Club June, my first month,
Mhm.
and I hit Success Club last month. So yeah, I
Right.
need one more month.
It's like I'm nervous because I mean I think I have June, July, and August. I think I technically started at like the end of May.
Then they probably count you
Going.
as June. I think after a certain point in the month, they say, okay, it's the next month.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Don't quote me on it, but because they
Yeah.
know sometimes people can't get up and running that fast.
Right. But so I gotta hit it, and it's like I've got no leads.
Well, you got
And-
2 months to hit it,
a month.
right?
What's that?
You got 2 months to hit it, right?
Yeah, I have. I think technically September and October to hit it.
You'll
So that'll be my goal for this month.
You have
is
to
just
hit it.
hit it.
3 times within the first 6 months of you being a coach.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They don't have to be consecutive. They used to have to be consecutive. Like Shannon got it like consecutively. That was
Yeah,
really
it was
hard.
the first. I had
So
to
I
get
have until December then.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Hit it one more time. So I think that's doable.
Let's
It is. It is
Yeah.
doable. I
don't
will do it.
In July, I was like so close and I was like talking to so many people and I had 4 points in July and I was like so discouraged, but then like I killed it in August.
That's
Nice.
right.
Like
Yeah.
it's just you definitely can't be discouraged. Like, and I know I could do like a little better, or in July I could have done a little better, but like August, like I was there every day in my stories and on Facebook and stuff, and I hit Success Club.
Yep.
Mhm.
You've got to keep doing it. Just do your thing and keep doing what you're doing, and it will happen.
That's right.
Yeah, people will watch you and see what you're doing, but you've got to post it or they can't watch.
Yeah.
You got to be
Yeah.
consistent.
And I kind of had that feeling in August, like when I hit Success Club, I kind of like relaxed a little bit.
Mhm.
And then, like yesterday was September 1st. I'm like, all right, new month.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Well, I know I sit at the end of the month and I'm like, do I push them or do I give them another few days? Do I
Yeah.
wait till the next month?
Well, especially if we didn't know if that MBF
Yeah.
pack was going to be on sale.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, should I just wait or,
Well, I'm not talking to any of my runners until the last week of September because I know that or like people that want to run.
Yeah.
Because that's October. I'm like, I'm not even.
No, you
I'm
can't
gonna
even.
It's
like
30 day, give it whatever it's called, breakaway. But I'm not
Yeah.
like focusing on it because I'm like, let me hit Success Club first and then put them
Yeah.
on hold.
Yeah, because they can't. I mean, even if they checked out as a coach, they can't check out till November. I mean, not November, October, right? So, but that's some people will check out as a coach to get it earlier.
Mhm.
Well,
That's a great way. That's why we added 30 some coaches in July.
that's absolutely true. There's so many people.
Yeah.
People did not get those bod ropes unless you checked out as a coach. Because I had
Mhm.
customers order the first day, it actually was the night before I sent them their cart and I said, check out now so your ropes get ahead of everybody else's.
Yeah.
And they still one of them still didn't have them, like last week. So
Yeah. All of my girls that bought MBF finally have their bod ropes.
I am nervous for January because you see that door attachment. Like, yeah, they better just be buying a shit ton
That
right
little-
now.
That little ball thing too. For
Yeah, what's it called, a bender ball. And fun fact, I think it was 2011 or something, I bought the original bender ball from an infomercial,
Wow.
and it's really freaking hard.
Great.
I have one of those, but I don't know why I have it. It says Bender on it though.
Yeah, that's what her program has, and then it has like that door attachment. It's that long thing so you can put your bands in it. They better be ordering that now. Like,
Yeah.
and I hope they release it in December. None of this, they can order, like they did 80-day obsession back in the day. Remember, everybody ordered in December, but it didn't start until January because then I get people yelling at me, they don't have equipment. I'm like, it's a day later.
I know.
Like,
They have to release it to customers in December because
Yeah.
and you can't get off to a good start if you don't have your stuff, like
Right.
people want to have their stuff. And then everybody who, like all the coaches and everybody who has their stuff, they want to start, So yeah, they've got to.
I have a question. Sorry.
No, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I have
you're
a
good.
question about so once you're done a program and you have like your before and after pics and all that crap, you go on to that Beachbody Challenge thing and you can like post your photos and whatever, will they give you the specific like MBF shirt? Because I was really confused, because it was almost like, it was like, how many programs have you done to reach this goal, or like, when did you start, all this stuff. And it seemed like they wanted like a compilation of like how all the programs that I've done.
So we used to get a shirt for every single program, right? The new program that come out, we get a specific program shirt. 2 years ago, they changed it where you only got one for the entire year. And it's like that one that we have that's like tan. I'm gonna say it's like a weird tan gray color.
Yeah.
That's the Beachbody Challenge shirt. What they did with 10 rounds in MBF, and I think they're starting to do this, if you also complete the program within like its early access time, honestly, you can then get the program specific tank top. So you can get an MBF tank top. The reason they're asking for all the programs is because everyone that submits, you have a chance to be selected in the year end, like they do like monthly prize giveaways, and then the big Beachbody Challenge where it's $150,000 or $250,000 split. So they're keeping track and they're watching. You've had incredible weight loss, so put it up there. You never know. And as you continue to complete programs, they may select you and make you like a $5,000 winner, and then you get chosen to go into the bigger group. So that's why they're asking.
But the before and after photos you only do for that program, or do you do like all the way in the beginning?
You add them every time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, for now, like you could go and you could put your very first one and then whatever after MBFA, and then list all the programs that you've done.
That's what I did. Because somehow or another, I must have accidentally deleted my after photos from 80-day obsession. I don't know what happened to them. They're gone. So I don't know if my photos are even going to work anyways, because I think it says you need to have at least like all of your hips and like everything. Like, but I put them in anyways.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a full body mirror and I don't have anyone to take a photo of me. So
girl, get yourself a tripod and a timer.
Yo, come here. I'll give you one of ours. Lee buys them in like 3 packs. It's ridiculous.
So what?
Yes.
What?
To get something. My husband. You ask him to get something. Like, hey, can you get a tripod? And he gets 3. Like that's just how he operates.
Yeah, I've been in the search for one of the like full body mirrors. I just haven't found the right one yet.
Yeah. Walmart actually has some good ones.
Whenever I get dressed, I don't know what I look like from the waist down.
Did anybody else just get knocked out? I literally just got knocked out of the meeting.
Oh, but you're back. I'm sorry.
I was like, everybody was frozen. I was like, what happened?
Well, we're just going to say, does anyone have any more questions or concerns? No? And remember, you can get one-on-one calls with your coach if you want them. Like, I know I'm going to put a thing out, like if you want to have a one-on-one call, we can do that. It'd be like 15, 20 minutes, like come with a plan. What do you need to know? How do we get there? I'll help you.
Bedroom.
Huh?
I'll just walk in the bedroom while Jeanette's working.
Yeah, excuse me.
Makes it easier.
I do have one other random question. Megan's push-ups to me always look like they're tricep push-ups, or is it just that we have different forms? Because I watched her video on like how to position yourself when you do a push-up. She says that your hands need to be like right by your chest and like right under you. And I feel like whenever I do that, it's a tricep push-up. So am I wrong when I'm further out?
I think there's only one push-up that you do, and it's tricep push-ups in week 1, because I just did upper body today in week 2, and we don't do tricep push-ups. So it might be
even an MBF, I feel like any of the push-ups, every time I see her do a push-up, it looks like a tricep push-up.
Yeah, I think it's just
and the warm-ups and
like I can tell you from teaching PE, students do the same thing. Some of them put their hands out here, some of them put them here, and this is a true military push-up.
Yeah.
So if you are in the military, then this is how you will do a push-up. Like that's how they will teach you to do it. So those are like true push-ups, they would say. But I mean, out here, you're getting more chest, as opposed to here triceps, but you can do them either way. I think the military push-ups are a lot harder. I'll have some girls that will just bang them out in class. And I'm like, those are good push-ups. And she's like, oh, I was a gymnast. I'm like,
yeah. And Megan was a gymnast. So
Yeah,
you gotta
there you
remember
go.
that. So, you know, and there's different, like Shannon was saying, like you just don't want your elbows like fully in line with your shoulder. You at least want them down like a little bit. So then when you're going down, because when you get up here, then your traps get all locked up. So think about keeping them down if you're going wide. And then even when you come into like the tricep, it's like your shoulders are locked down and you're pressing out of the tricep. And I teach my son how to do push-ups today too. And it's so funny how their little bodies cannot connect. That kinesthetic awareness is not there yet. And I'm like holding him up. And his gym, funny thing, his gym teacher, who was my husband's basketball coach in high school, they were doing their thing and he goes, "Oh, Mason's got a really nice mat there." And I wanted to be like, "Thank you."
That's funny.
I got this. I got PE. The one class I can teach. I got this. But yeah, get your kids involved too. Show them. Have fun. I might send him double time because he literally just sets a clock for 7 minutes and says, "Do cardio."
Oh, really?
Yeah, you tell an 8-year-old to do that, he's just going to look at you and be like,
Man, we have to do, ours is so different for high school. I mean, obviously, but high school PE, it's like, I mean, it's all mapped. Like we have to do so many, it's not just activity. Let me just put it that way. It's not, it's every activity has a purpose and every activity, I mean, you're teaching like a concepts with it.
Yeah.
So there's like, I mean, there's PowerPoints and you have to, oh yeah. It's, everybody thinks that even when we're at school, okay, everybody thinks like, here you go, here's a basketball, go play. That's what we do. And that is not what we do. Let me just get these.
How are you doing PowerPoints in PE?
I am telling you, there's so like there's technology in PE now. Like we have quizzes all the time. We have notebooks that they bring to class. Like
that was not the PE we did.
It is definitely stressful doing it this way. Like, I'm at this computer making these lessons. They're very it's a lot of work. This is more work than I've ever had to do teaching, and the last 2 years, I typed up all of my unit plans and everything that has to do with what I do all year that I've done. And you can just add to it, of course, but I've typed it up and I have all the quizzes and tests and everything. And I can't even use any of that. Like none of it for this.
That's absurd.
Because it's all different. Like I'm not teaching a tennis unit right now.
Yeah.
So everything's breakdown though. Like you have to break down the skills of tennis. I mean, I show them everything. Like people, I guess I'm kind of going off on a tangent here because people just really think that we just give them equipment. And I'm like, you know what? If I gave you a tennis racket and said, go teach how to play tennis, all the rules, and I'm just using one sport.
Yeah.
All the rules and show them and demonstrate everything. Oh, and by the way, you don't have notes to look at. Like, give them the cues. Can you go out there and do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My favorite sport.
There's a lot of stuff, you know, and then there's weight training and stuff too. So it's not all just like sports, but yeah, it's a lot more complicated. So when you said he did 7 minutes of cardio and he's like, just do 7 minutes of cardio. That is so annoying to me right now because we're working so hard, you know?
He literally just he does an Avengers warm up and doesn't help any of their technique, which I'm watching Mason. I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
We're going to do this the right way. And then he's like 7 minutes. And then you can see the little girls are like,
yeah.
I'm like, 7 minutes of sustained cardio is a lot.
Oh yeah, a lot of the high school kids couldn't do that.
He's like, I'm out of breath. I'm like, keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, then I have him doing bands on the door because he's not using his hips or core for his swings in baseball. So we're adding that in every day.
Nice.
He said he might do the running program with me. I was like, I don't want to run by myself. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
My jump roping skills have gotten a lot better with this program. I used to, like, when I did 80-day obsession, the cardio days were like the worst because I hated just standing there jumping. I was so bad at it, and now it's like totally fine. Like, I'll just jump for longer. It's fine.
Victory. take a picture with your bod rope and make that a post.
I actually have a question. I'm sure someone eventually is going to ask me this. I don't know what I've never had a problem swinging a real rope.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a hula hoop jump rope champion, damn it. But these cordless ropes, I don't know what is going on with my left arm. Yeah. I swear, it's
today was upper body day.
Anybody else having this issue?
Oh yeah, week 3.
Everyone, don't worry.
Upper body. After I was done, I forget what I was doing, but I literally started going, and my left hand literally was like hitting myself in the leg.
Yeah.
I could not.
What is going on?
I could not do it. I was like, what the hell is like? I just could not move my arms. I'm like, all right, whatever.
They're fun though. I tried to get Mason to use them for his cardio, and he's like, no, people look at me. I'm like, they'll probably be like, these are the coolest things ever. What is this?
They're kerbangers.
Yeah. I hit myself everywhere.
Yeah, I do.
Sometimes I just drop them because I get mad, and I'm just like, screw it, and I just use my hands because I'm like, it's getting in my way. And then for an AMRAP, you know what? I just stopped writing them down, which I die, but I just yell out the number. I'm like, finish it. 1, 2. Because when I stop moving, it's like, and I know she does it on purpose. I stop moving. I'm like, wow, it's really hard to get myself back up. So, and I know that's the purpose of it, is like you got to take a second. But I like try and go as hard as I can. Then I take like a second and then get myself back.
See, I didn't know you were supposed to stop, write it down.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing what you're doing. I just call it out. Because I thought you were trying to get in as many as you could. I didn't know you were supposed to pause.
She wants to pause for the heart rate to come down for a second, and then to spike again.
Okay, well that matters. It's kind of like Tabata.
Yeah.
He kicks his Shakeology sample packets while he's in the hotel room. That's his way to track. So whatever works for you.
Whatever works.
I saw his post doing that, kicking his little Shakeology packets.
He's a mess. Yeah, and then at home he kicks the snowballs. My brother likes to get the kids gifts that are annoying. So
wait till he has his.
I know, and it's soon, December, yeah. So no, he got him this big bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket of these like snowballs that are like indoor snowballs. They're like foamy.
Yeah.
Chuck at each other, you know, and they just get everywhere. Like we don't have enough balls in the house. Like we have so many like just balls that you've won from machines and
yeah.
So he uses those.
All right, well, let's do a boomerang and we'll get you out of here.
I'm not doing it this time. I struggled last
time. I got it. Ready, everybody? Ready.
Wait, don't wait.
Ready, 1, 2. It's on your way. Okay, got it. And then I deleted the random laptop pictures. Tim, I'll do my screen thing tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. I'm gonna try flipping to a business account in the morning and see if that's the issue.
Okay. Do you still want me to do a screen recording of mine?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, of yours, because maybe that I'm a visual learner, so I know that will help.
I'll do it tonight and post it on there.
Okay, whenever. No rush.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, guys. Thank you for hopping on.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah.
I can't figure out how to get out.
Still here.